Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another AMA by PresaleWorld. I'm Ant, and today we had an amazing AMA with Drunk Skunks. But before we get there, a little bit of a plug for PresaleWorld. We are the easiest way to find pre-sales from across the market for the biggest launch pads, including Pink Sale, Unicrypt, Gempad, Cookie Sale, DXL, and of course from our very own launchpad here at PresaleWorld. We are the fastest growing launchpad, so be sure to check us out at presale.world. But back to the main event of Drunk Skunks, listen in. Happy days. Well, let's get straight into it then. So like I say, Drunk Skunks Drinking Club. So the way we always start with these things are, tell us a bit more about yourselves, not the project, but about yourselves. Who are you? How did you get into crypto?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to introduce the team and kind of go over our backgrounds and some things like that. And then, do a project overview or questions or whatever you have for your format after that. So yeah, excited to talk about the project, and I'll just get right into talking about the team. We've got our four main core members of the team. Start off introducing our CEO, who's Lou. And Lou is worked as a cryptocurrency developer and, of course, an investor. And in real life, he's has a past experiences as a financial consultant and financial analyst. So he's going to kind of see the big picture of the project and drive us forward towards our roadmap and meeting our goals. But specifically, his background in finance is going to help him to manage the staking protocol and provide that sustainability and consistent returns to investors through the management of the different inputs that we have flowing into our staking protocol. So we do value that experience, because so many times we've seen projects that promise 8 billion% staking and APY for staking, and they last like an hour or so, right? So yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to try to have each element to the staking fuel the project and skyrocket that forward in a sustainable way while delivering value to our holders. So Lou's going to be managing that with his background in finance. Randy's got a great background for the project. He is our CFO. He's worked as a successful business owner, starting businesses from scratch and to the point where they're profitable to be able to sell them. And the best part of that is that, he's done that within the restaurant, beer and bar industries. So specific industry experience that he's using his connections to push the beer line that we have forward. So, with his connections in those lines, we've basically been able to set it up to the point, and Randy's going to give us an update on the beer line later, but with the Drunk Skunks Pale Ale and Drunk Skunks Lager, we're at that point where we have all of the deals done and we're ready to select and move forward officially with running the first batch based upon the raise and the scalability of our launch, so that we're responsibly going with the smaller to medium sized brewery or the medium large size brewery that's going to churn out these beers for us for our first batch, and partnering according to the scale of our raise for the, like we had mentioned, the sustainability and responsibility of the investor funds. So Randy, as our CFO, is going to manage the business portion and use his connections for furthering the beer line. We have Ace, who's our CIO, who's worked as a promotional team manager, a developer, an investor. I've known him for a long time in this space, I say a long time, but, a year and a half, right? That's probably like an eternity in BSC. But I met him while he was promoting a project that I was deving, and we connected, and he pushed it to really high levels. And right now he's using that connection and everything that he has to increase engagement and awareness within our project, and getting the word out to social media, to investors. And likewise, we partnered with Legacy Capital, who has a great track record of promoting projects, filling pre-sales, and pushing projects to high levels. And we're really excited to partner with Legacy Capital for all of our marketing. My name is Jay, and I'm working as a COO for the Drunk Skunks Drinking Club. My background is in public relations, and I've worked as a leadership and corporate trainer in not just corporate America, but also training leaders in various sectors, government, education, et cetera. So I'm going to be the voice of the drinking club, and just use my background in PR and leadership to help to drive the project, to market it, to build a community, to build up our brand. And we've all been a part of successful projects in the past, coming together, specializing our roles, and dividing and conquering, I think, is the name of the game. That we feel really strong about each of our roles in this project, and we're super excited to bring it to you guys today. I'm happy to talk about overview if you'd like. Whatever you'd like.
I was just going to say, like, you've got me hyped already, Jay. I'm not going to lie. Like, just by introducing yourselves, it's great to hear a team like that's full-bodied, to be honest, rather than just like solely focused. You get teams that don't have a developer. Sometimes you get a team that have got no financial experience, no crypto experience. So to hear that you've got a few of you from different backgrounds is absolutely wonderful. But you kind of hit the nail on the head where we're about to go to next. Like, the reason we're here, of course.
Lost you, Ann.
Yeah, sorry, Ant. I think you cut out there, brother.
Oh, sorry, I'll jump in for 1 second. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think he has just dropped off.
So I apologize. Someone tried to call me. I do this on my mobile phone, tends to be. What I was saying, I don't know if you heard any of the compliments, but I was complimenting a full-bodied team, and I think it's great that is the case. What I was saying after that, of course, is the reason we are here is for the Drunk Skunks Drinking Club, of course. So let's hear more about it. We'll go into the overview. We'll get into the nitty-gritty in a minute, and let's hear more about it.
Yeah, thanks, Ann. Appreciate the compliment too. Yeah, we feel like we have a balanced team, and also kind of to go off of that, an extension of our team is, we want to highlight our pre-sales currently live right now, 50 BNB soft cap, and we have the SAFU, we have the KYC, and we have the audit badges, and we've doxed to Legacy Capital. So we feel like those elements will really provide for safe investments in your pre-sale world. So that probably checks a lot of your boxes that you talk to investors about doing their own research and making sure projects are safe. But kind of as an extension of our team, as a safe food development team that we have, through PinkSale, which has been fantastic, responsible for the contract, connecting us to the audit and KYC services through PinkSale, and then also just having the development of all of our dApps be from the Safe Food Dev is really giving a lot of peace of mind to investors when they're thinking about, I think about it, connecting my wallet to a website. This gives me that little push, that peace of mind going, okay, it's Safe Food. And I've never had, nor I don't think could you have a problem with that in terms of, breaches and things or rugging. So I did want to highlight those badges. We're really proud of those, and happy to talk about the project now too, because we've got a lot of cool stuff. Before I get started though, we're really just to kind of give the focus of the overview. We really have three main moving pieces to the project. So three main components that I think work in a synergy together. So we've got the first part, obviously the NFTs. Then we've got Stink, the token, and then we have the beer line. So as I go through this, you'll see how those three things will work together to provide a balanced project that will deliver a lot of value and a lot of different revenue streams coming in for our holders that will be returned to them through staking. So we have the NFT collection, right? So let's start off talking about that. Our goal is to provide an interactive, in real life social experience and exclusivity of membership, obviously inspired by Basie and a lot of those types of vibes that they give off, but with a twist that obviously we're going to be heavily drinking on this one, right? So we've got that drinking element to it that Basie wouldn't have. So it's a little bit more of like a common approach to it, like less of the maybe, I don't know, celebrity vibe to it, that the Basie has. We just are pretty much the everyday drinking club type of vibe. And we want to provide passive income earning opportunities as an investment, and the exclusive social club membership and profit sharing through the growth of the in real life business. So we'll start off talking about the first component, which is the NFTs. There's a lot of different pieces to the NFTs that I just want to make sure I highlight. But there's 5,555 individual unique NFTs on BSC, and that will provide the returns that I was talking about. So they're stakeable, and that is going to give you returns from staking that you'll earn in Stink. And then on top of that, you can stake your Stink for a staking multiplier. So if you can check our website out, guys, and you've seen it at drunkskunksdc.com, you see that we have that custom minting dApp. And for the first time, I just wanted to talk, as I talk about staking, and Is it okay for us to drop some content into your
Absolutely,
chat?
yeah. So some links will get deleted. So if they do, just throw them across to John or myself, and we'll get them in there.
Awesome. So we've got our team members there. If you guys can drop the first ever, this is a Presale World exclusive, right? So first ever look at our staking DApp, and I just wanted to reference that. It's being developed by the Safe dev that we have through PinkSale. So feel safe connecting your wallet to it. And that goes for minting. It looks clean. It's right on the web. We'll do the same thing with the staking DApp. So we're going to go ahead and launch that staking DApp. We're going to give you a quick preview of that, but we do wanted to make sure that you guys see that it's ready to go live, and we should have that live at launch or shortly after. And so then you'll be able to stake your NFTs, right? So that's the first part of it. Stake your NFTs, earn stink. The secondary part of the staking will allow you to stake your earnings or to stake your stink tokens to earn a staking multiplier. And the other component to the NFTs that's going to provide some value is that you can definitely see the value in just the basic stuff, right about an NFT, that if you mint a rare one, then you have the opportunity to have that immediately increase in value. If you mint a NFT, obviously, then you'll benefit from the full collection being full minted, which we plan on doing with legacy marketing, legacy capital marketing. We plan on continuing to full mint. So you have that floor price rise when the full mint happens. You'll be able to stake to earn. You'll be able to have the possibility of minting a rare one. Along with minting a rare one comes the increased APY and increased utilities that we're going to offer. And the rarity is, there's over 120 traits, right? So you've got, standard traits, 120 different traits that, things like clothing, backgrounds, headwear, facial expressions. But in addition to that, we've also got the skins that are the kind of determining factor in rarity. So we can drop some of that in the chat for you guys too, just to show you what the rarity looks like. And then in addition to the rarity, we have the 50 legendary drunk skunks, the 1-to-1s, and we call them our filthy 50. So if you've read the background on our website, you kind of see that those are the ones that started the party, right? So the party got started by the filthy 50. They've got traits that are unique only to them. And we've had a lot of conversation about those. We've really engaged in a lot of conversation with our community. We have been doing a lot of promotions that we've reserved them for the bigger promotions and the bigger giveaways and things like that. For example, our shilling contest, our top prize was to give away one of the 1-to-1s. And I know we've been doing a lot of infighting about which ones we get, right? Because I wanted that Freddy Krueger one. I know Randy wanted the Star Wars themed one. Lou wanted one of the skeleton ones. That's his PFP right now. So, I definitely think that there's something that would appeal to everybody. We've got a wide variety, but they're also custom. That, there's something that is probably going to jump out at you when you see the 50. You'll be like, okay, that's mine. I want that one. And we're going to give opportunities for our community and for our members to earn those. So that's kind of a little bit of the overview about the NFTs. When we talked about the NFTs, making them unique and also being inspired by Basie, we have the first 1,000 mints are going to get a free toxic beer that will mutate your skunk. And that will really be one of our first big social club events that's going to be held probably virtually and combination virtual in person if we can pull that off. But it'll be shortly after our mint. We're going to have a toxic beer that will mutate your skunk into something completely different. So you're getting that skunk that's going to be another NFT of your mutant skunk. It'll be tradable, have exclusive traits and utilities that we're revealing kind of slowly, teasing things out. But we've actually just started to drop our first mutant previews today. And so wanted to share those with you guys here in Presale World, but this is new today. So when you take the toxic beer, you use it to mutate your skunk, you get a completely different NFT. You get the mutant skunk NFT. And like I had mentioned before, we're going to have a lot of different utilities and value. And if you think about the value, you're getting 0.15, you're getting a membership into the club. And I do want to make sure that we drop our NFT graphic into the chat as well for our rarity, of course, but also I wanted to share with you the reward tiers that Randy just posted. So we have, one NFT gets you that lifetime membership. And that's all the things that we just talked about, the social club, the private group that we'll be starting, that will give you the first access to merch, the beer line, the updates, the news, the exclusive giveaways, the social club invites, all of that. So we're really talking about the one NFT at 0.15 is a huge value. And not only does it get you the lifetime membership as long as you hold it, but it also gives you an entry into the lottery prize that we have. The top prize is 10 BNB. So check out that graphic. It shows you the bonus tiers, the reward tiers, and the lottery prizes that we're going to be doing here, including bonus tokens. And if you're holding 20 NFTs, then you're getting 15% bonus tokens and tax-free trades on Stink. So we have that kind of set up for our contract, and that's the way we're going to be able to provide the maximum benefit for our big holders. The top 10 wallets with the most NFTs at launch get a legendary, and we're excited to give those away too, because I think that those have been a really cool piece to this project. That's a little bit about the NFTs. I know that that's a lot of info, but I think we tried to provide a ton of utility and a ton of value in a market where we know that NFTs have turned down a bit. The ones that are surviving are, I think, the ones that are doing what we're doing: utility, membership, something extra, And in addition to that, the inflow will be profit and revenue sharing through the staking pool from the beer line. The native tokens.
Let's go into the NFTs first, because like you say, there's a bit to unpick there. I mean, that is incredible. Just to be clear, the artwork is absolutely phenomenal. I think it looks fantastic. First and foremost, the website is so clean, and like you say, if the DApp follows anything, which we have seen the images that have gone into the chat, if the DApp follows that at all, it's going to look absolutely fantastic. So, congratulations to you all on that. To be fair, it looks absolutely great. So in terms of the NFTs are obviously such a huge part of this, being part of the drinking club. And I'm sure you were just about to get into it, but the drinking club itself is something that, I mean, not that I'm a big drinker, but it's something that interests me quite a lot. And, it says things like social meetups, merch giveaways, contests, and giving back to holders. But do you have anything planned at the moment to go through, or is it going to be kind of a progression of things that this drinking club is going to offer?
Yeah, when you say anything planned to go through, what do you mean by that?
So what I mean is, what do you have at the moment? So we're talking about like contests, we're talking about, social meetups and merch giveaways and things. Are these the things that are being developed at the moment? Are they ready to go? Is it just a matter of like a marketing strategy that it might happen in a month's time? I was just wondering, like, when does everybody benefit from being part of the drinking club? Is it straight away? Is it's going to increase over a period of time? It could be all of those things.
Yeah, for sure. And we want to do all those things too. So we don't want people to have to wait too long for the benefits to kick in. So we've provided, I think, a lot of those benefits initially just with, the lottery, with staking being live right away, and with, some of the utility that's going to be immediate, and including, what we want to get out as soon as possible. We're hoping to be able to do the mutation party here within the week of launch. That'll be our first social event. So that should be the first social meetup that we have. And whether it's constricting for us, we don't want to box out any international members, being primarily in the U.S., having the connections to launch the beer line here initially. We don't want to box anyone out or leave anyone out internationally, and we've got a lot of questions about that. So we definitely have plans to be inclusive and provide those opportunities for our international members of the Drunk Skunks Drinking Club, whether that be virtual, whether that be sponsoring a few people to come in and join us in person. We're really stoked to be able to have that. But to answer your question, yeah, we want to get rolling with the social benefits right away, because it's going to fuel the project on a higher level. Same thing with the brewery partnership. We don't want to wait at all. We want to just get rolling with it, and we've done all of the back end work to be able to do that.
Absolutely. It's the sort of thing, obviously crypto can make it go crazy on itself, but like those outside things, like the social meetups, like especially the beer line, these are outside crypto influencers that can just, prop it up, if you want to call prop it up, or push it forward might be a better way to say it. So I'm really keen on hearing about them, because I think they sound absolutely fantastic personally. So the NFTs, like you say, the staking is pretty much ready to go from what I can see. What does staking benefit you from staking your NFT? I know you've been through a few of them already. So if I'm right, it earns you Stink tokens. And what have you got an idea of APRs and what it gives you from staking from the get-go?
Yeah, so we've been kind of teasing out some of the information about the APY and stuff like that. But initially, we want to see, I know that a lot of people will throw these crazy high numbers out, and we will deliver some value for sure. It's not like I'm saying that we're going to give you, 0.3% APY, right? Nobody would want to lock in anything for that value or that return. But we have been cautious about throwing numbers out there until we can determine the scale of our raise here with Pinks, and then the scale on the launch as well. We plan on going live with that staking right after launch. The other thing to consider too is that we do have a real life revenue stream that we're going to be pouring into the staking pool. So there's that consideration too, that once that's live, staking APY will increase. And we talked about this a little bit on an earlier AMA. We had an AMA earlier with Shano. We talked about this a little bit, that less than 5% of the world's invested in cryptocurrency. So how much bigger of a percentage are beer drinkers, right? I mean, like a huge increase in the percentage if you're talking about the world population that drinks beer. So if we can kind of target marketing to bring in beer drinkers into the crypto space via the commercial sales of beer, things like we've got going with the QR codes on the beer, right? Scan the QR code, it brings you to our cryptocurrency project. Now you've got a beer drinker drawn into the cryptocurrency world, right? So, if we can harness some of that marketing, and Ace just dropped the toxic beer can, the 3D design that we're using to print the cans and to get the cans ready. You can kind of see that the design, we're really hyped about it, really psyched about it. But you see the QR code there that you can scan to bring you in and earn maybe like a small amount free stink just to get you started with the cryptocurrency investment, help you with education and guidance to set up wallet and kind of get you into the crypto space. Those are ideas that we have. So if you guys buy this pre-sale and you can hold that until shortly after launch, when we get the beer revenue going, I think that this will really moon, and we have really sky's the limit for bringing people into the cryptocurrency world, into the Drunk Skunks ecosystem.
I mean, I don't think that could have been said any better, quite honestly. That was absolutely fantastic. And I completely agree. We all get wrapped up in the BSC space sometimes, or Ethereum, or wherever we are, that this is the only source of income for anything ever. But like you say, if it's 5% of people are into crypto, like you say, I would imagine many more people are into drinking a bit of beer every now and then. So it's great that you can have two separate revenue models, really. So you can have the kind of standard FOMO of people just jumping in on things because other people are jumping in on it, whether it's the crypto side, but actually having that kind of long-term business plan, I think, is an absolutely fantastic idea to make it to go from strength to strength, really. And it sounds like you've got, like you mentioned, you've got that experience within the team, of course, within the restaurant industry, the business industry, to get that beer line up and running itself, not just the crypto, is what you said.
So absolutely. I think Randy's background's huge for us. Yeah.
So moving on, I mean, I don't want to move on too much because we'll get back into the NFTs, because like I say, it is one of the core, well, like you said, it's one of the core fundamentals to the project. But you were just about to move on before I rudely interrupted you, to be fair. So what are the other pillars of the utility of the project?
Yeah, no problem. No, those were good questions. Yeah, I'm happy to have you interrupt whenever. Yeah, it's no problem. Those were good questions. The NFT bot that we have going off in the chat, I know is you've seen NFT bots before, but I did want to say that it's really kind of cool because it's been generating a lot of conversation within our group. We've been able to see, oh, hey, there's a new member, and then the guy that minted it, or the girl that minted it, is coming forward saying, hey, that's mine, and then changing their PFP a lot of times. So it's been a cool experience to just see, hey, there's another member to the club, but also the conversation that generates, because it includes the, it's including the some of the characteristics about it, and then we'll say, oh, that's a rare one because it has a trippy skin, or the gold skin, or different color skin that people have come to recognize as being rare. So we're really excited about that NFT bot as well. And then moving into the next part of it, which is obviously with Stink, we do have a lot going on with Stink that we've been working on behind the scenes. I mean, initially, the utility of our native token is going to be used to purchase the merch, the beer, and obviously staking to earn that multiplier on top of staking your NFTs. So you can stake that for an increased APY when you stake them together. And, so that's going to be the initial push for Stink and for the utility. But eventually we'll be able to purchase the beer through using Stink. So it's kind of like free beer, right? If you're staking your NFTs and you're Stink and you're earning Stink and you can buy beer with Stink, it's like you're getting free beer. So you can take care of that, your beer budget for the month, maybe with some staking here and then some, right? With passive income. And that's I guess the components of the native token that we want to eventually use to be able to buy and trade the NFTs, to be able to purchase toxic beer if needed, and then also to have your purchases for all of our in-store online items. So that's a little bit with Stink. Going on to the beer line, I'm gonna let Randy update this, but we do have the Drunk Skunks Pale Ale, the Drunk Skunks Lager, and the Drunk Skunks Toxic Beer that we've been working on. He's done a lot to get the flavor profile set, to get everything set to the point where it's make a call, that it goes to production and we're set. So I think that, Randy can kind of fill you in a little bit more just with his background and some of the things that he's done to set things up for us with the Drunk Skunks Pale Ale and Drunk Skunks Lager. So I'll let Randy take that one.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jay. Thanks, Ann. Thanks for having us here today on PresaleWorld. So as Jay mentioned, we've been working towards this, getting this line developed for quite some time now. We originally came up with the idea back in January, and I went right to work. I've owned and operated multiple restaurants and bars over the past 20 years, so I've had experience in this field, making connections and relationships with different people in that industry, including some breweries. Some smaller than others, some medium to large size. But one thing's for sure, we all like drinking beer, we all like having a good time, and we all like that kind of social interaction, connecting the crypto world, with real life. And this was, right up our alley. This is something that, like I said, was kind of more of a passion for us than anything else. So when the opportunity arose, we jumped right on it. And through our, process of creating these different prototypes and, finding the type of beer that we were desiring to meet our criteria, we knew we wanted a couple things. We wanted something that was high quality. We wanted something that had great drinkability and great flavor. And, through the testing process with friends and family, like I said, for a while now, we decided on a pale ale and a lager. Those are going to be our two initial offerings, with a toxic beer. That's kind of like a mystery right now. Kind of keeping that one close to the chest. But, initially the first two offerings will be our pale ale, which, if you're a beer drinker, you kind of want to know, what I'm going to be drinking. So, it's kind of citrus flavored, with grapefruit, lemons, tangerines, slightly bitter, like you'd find in a pale ale, similar to that of like a Sierra Nevada. That's a very popular beer here in the States. And then our lager, that one is probably, more widely drank across the world. So with something like that, you're looking at like a medium body flavor, notes of roasted caramel malt, and very well balanced. So with those two being the first initial offerings that we're going to have, we're going to tie that into the actual release during distribution. So when we talk about social meetups, the people that are in this club that meet with us are going to be the first ones to actually publicly try our beers. And, for that, we are just really, really excited right now, tying, like I said, the crypto world into real life and bringing this, project to reality for everyone.
No, that's amazing. To be honest, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the idea of it. And like you say, being able to kind of make it something bigger than crypto. I mean, maybe that's a bit of a bold statement, but something that is not just crypto, I think, is a great idea. Often you get focused on, and you will have seen yourselves if you follow pre-sales, like that kind of the meme, the lack of utility doesn't seem to fly so much at the minute. There needs to be some kind of utility. And although, I mean, utility in terms of social meetups might not be what people usually classify as utility, but it is something around a brand, and that's what flies at the end of the day. If you look at things like Baby Doge, I know it's a meme token, but they built a brand out of it that people can kind of, think about as in terms of crypto. And when people think of meme token, they think of that. So hopefully when people think of NFTs and BSC and drinking, they think of your crypto. So I love it. I've got some questions off the back of that, if you don't mind though, Randy. So I don't know anything about the kind of production or distribution of beer, and I imagine you do a lot more, a lot more than myself. So, what will be the process for obviously not necessarily technically, but in terms of process of getting a brewery on board, or I don't know if you've got people that that will be able to do that. So, do you have the contacts to get that beer brewed, and what's the plan to distribute it after that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So right now I'm working with two breweries. One is a smaller kind of a craft brew type of brewery, which is where we initially had our first flavors made. We wanted to have that, like I said, when we were going through the process of kind of picking and choosing what flavor profile we wanted, making sure we had something that was high quality that we liked. That's who we worked with because they were local for us and gave us the opportunity to kind of work directly with the owner and the brewmaster there since I said I've known him now for probably 10 years or so. So that was kind of an easy, transition for us to work into. And then, through that connection, I was able to meet another brewmaster, and that was a larger brewery that's for when we look towards, the success. If it's something that is popular, we're going to work with them on, creating a larger distribution channel to be able to get it to, more places throughout the country, and country right now is the US. But, when we talk about scalability, the scalability is really kind of based on the success of the project and the desired, that people have to try our brew. So, if it's popular and people are into it, really, there's no limit on to kind of where we can go with some of the connections we have. And, we're excited to get to that point, really.
Yeah, I love it. And for anyone that's just joining and all they hear about is talking about beer and are a bit confused when they're joining a Telegram group about crypto, how does this all fit into the model then? I like to think that I know from reading through what's happened. So I believe it's profit sharing. And obviously, like you mentioned, which I think is a big part of it, is these social meetups actually being part of the drinking club itself. But am I right, I suppose, is the question.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Talking about you're talking about those cornerstones that we touched on earlier with the NFTs, the native token Stink, and then the in real life beer business. So with the pale ale and lager commercial sales, we're revenue sharing, profit sharing back into the staking pool for our holders that are staking their NFTs and staking Stink to earn Stink. And then the social meetups obviously are another form of marketing this out and exclusivity for our members on the NFT side. And then the NFT sales, we can use BNB to protect our chart when people want to take profit from Stink. We've got that as a reserve. We've got a 2% tax on staking on the token for assistance with maintaining the staking protocol that we have. So we have that influx. We have BNB from the sales of the NFTs to protect the chart. And then we have the revenue sharing, profit sharing from the beer line. So the beer drinkers will be drawn into crypto. Our current membership will be drawn to the social events and promoting it with their friends. And we kind of have a lot of those moving pieces that are just a fusion together and working in a kind of lockstep together. So that's the idea.
Yeah, I like it. And when we just to make it abundantly clear, when we're talking about putting the money, profit sharing into the staking pools, I assume that means you are buying Stink and putting it into the staking pool. Is that correct?
That's correct. So if you look at our tokenomics on the Pink Sale link, we have basically 20% tokens locked and reserved and vested according to the SafeHu guidelines for staking token releases. So now along with that, you're exactly right. We're going to use the basically, yeah, I mean, to really, really water it down, right? You go into a grocery store, you go into a beer distributor here in the States, you go into a convenience store, you grab a 6-pack of Stink, and you buy that. The profit from that will be converted right back to our holders. So we will also, like you mentioned, that's a form of buyback right there. So we're using that profit sharing to boost the chart, and then that stink token gets put into the pool for staking. So that's the idea for profit sharing and that feedback loop that we have for sustainability.
Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely love to hear it. So right out the gates then. So obviously we've got the fair launch that's happening at the minute. It's only just started, of course. How do people get hold of the NFTs? So obviously, getting hold of Stink is one thing because you can contribute to the pool. Where do the NFTs fit into that scenario?
Are you asking how to grab one right now?
Or how to grab one? Yeah. So one can grab Stink, right? And like I say, staking Stink is coming. But how do they grab the NFTs? Is that a thing they can do now? Is that a thing they can do after launch? When does that happen?
Yeah, we really wanted to have minting open, so we've actually had minting open for about a week now, and minting's been live a little longer than that as well. But yeah, you just go right to drunkskunksdc.com, our website. You connect your wallet, and then you can purchase an NFT right there on our website. And then it will help you if you need help with how to get it displayed or connecting to one of the marketplaces that we're already listed on that will display your NFT for you so you can see it. You'll be able to see it go off right in our main Telegram. You'll be able to see a picture of your NFT right there as you mint and see the attributes that it has to see if you might have gotten a rare one. And so that's the way that you would do it, right? Connect your wallet, drunkskunksdc.com, to our minting dApp. Purchase for 0.15 BNB each. And then we are going to have everybody, obviously the first 1,000, just using BSC scan, the first 1,000 will get airdropped the free toxic beer, an invite to the exclusive mutation party. And then you're basically getting, for that one NFT, a lot of value. You're getting that original NFT, the Drunk Skunks NFT, the toxic beer, which is going to have a 0.1 BNB value, and you can purchase that with Stink later on. And then also we'll have the mutation. So you're getting two NFTs for that price of one, along with the free toxic beer, and it's stakeable, and it gets you the membership to the club, and it also gets you the entry into the lottery right now.
Absolutely. And if anyone hasn't seen it, like I say, do go to the website. It is super simple. There's a big old button saying connect wallet, and then it's a nice little slider with a button. Like, you don't have to use your brain if you want an NFT here, guys. Literally just go to the site and it kind of does it there for you. Obviously, if you have questions, then go over to the Drunk Skunks Telegram there, and I'm sure they'll answer them for you. But yeah, great answer there. So in terms of marketing, obviously we've got this kind of bigger idea of meetups and the actual beer branding as well. But in terms of traditional crypto marketing, I assume this is where Brian is helping out in terms of legacy capital here. But what plans do you have to kind of get the Stink token and the NFTs, of course, kind of pumping at the beginning?
Perfect question for me. Just want to say thanks for having us, guys. So to start off, like our NFTs, actually the whole token and NFT kind of marketing, we like doing organic growth. So doing AMAs like we are now, doing posts in legitimate Telegram group, Twitter groups, and so on. Excuse me. That's kind of how we like raising it now. As you can tell by our Telegram group, we're under 1,000 people. Those are all organic people. This is from shilling competitions. This is from AMAs that we've held, and Twitter posts that we've also been putting out. We're going to continue to do that as the fair launch progresses. We have more Telegram groups that will be shouting us out throughout the 24 hours of our fair launch. This will be our last AMA as of now, but as soon as we launch, we will be booking more as well. And not just on Telegram, we'll be looking at Discord. We'll be looking at Twitter. As we know, Discord has abundance of NFT Discord groups. So that's kind of where our main focus is going to go. Once we launch, we're going to push the NFTs so that we can get those all put out as well. And then kind of like Jay was talking about earlier with the marketing as at the bars and the meetups and stuff like that, it's going to be a lot easier bringing in these people from out of crypto into the crypto world with the branding that these guys have come up with. So that's with the QR code on the cans. That's with the merchandise that they'll be handing out at some of these meets, and just having these clubs talking and getting to know more people at these bars and getting them involved in what we're promoting. Excuse me. So right now, that's kind of where our main focus is. We'll put out more banners to be out on BSC and on Dex Tools and a lot of those other places. So it's very, very early right now, guys. I suggest you look everything over. If you like it, invest now. If you guys get into the fair launch, there's no taxes on buying in. So that's kind of what I always like to preach to people. If you're interested in the project, if you're interested in the team, make sure you guys just get in now. Hold the token, because these guys have a lot of things coming up that I'm very bullish about and my team are very bullish about. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the marketing strategy as of right now.
Sounds great. To be fair, you hit the nail on the head of what I would say as well. To be fair, I think it's quite easy to go overboard and, excuse my terminology here, guys, but just throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. I think it's much better to actually have a plan and follow through with that plan. And it always, well, I say always is a strong word, of course, but it tends to have a much more positive impact. And I do know yourself, being a marketing partner, you tend to have very positive effects to these things. So it's good to see you. What I would say as well, just to kind of piggyback off what Brian was saying, by the way, like, I know I'm obviously gushing a little bit over this, but fair launches, I say it every single time, but fair launches at the beginning, don't take track of the number, what it says, because people wait for the last minute to put their money in. Fair launches are a funny old thing at the minute because people want it to be a low market cap when it starts, so it 10x's, 20x's, or whatever it does. So that's what people want to do. So if it only says, I mean, at the minute it says 4.5 BNB, but I doubt it will say that towards the end. So if you like the project, do some research about it yourselves as well. And then don't be dissuaded by the number of what it says, because people just wait on fair launches at the minute. It's a very strange space for pre-sales at the moment. So there is that as well.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right with that. And that's kind of how we do a lot of our marketing. It's a lot of big push near the end, as where a lot of investors don't want their funds tied up for any longer than 24 hours, really, until the project's launched. So it's funny, we see like within the last 20, 30 minutes, the abundance of BNB come through. It's pretty crazy. It's palm sweating almost. Like it's a lot to see. So,
well,
that's kind of where we've. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, you only have to go to pre-sales. I mean, obviously we see them all day, every day being PresaleWorld, but you only have to go through BSC scan and see the amount. If you go to any pre-sale and see the amount that comes in, and it's basically about 75% comes in the last hour. So it is a lot, and people just, it's funny because when you look at a year ago, I know I'm going off on a tangent, guys, I do apologize, but when you look a year ago, it was all about pre-sales and how quick you could fill them. And then 6 months ago, it was fair launch and how much it could grow over a period of time. And now it's kind of gone somewhere in between, which is see how much we can fill it, how quick, but right at the end, not right at the beginning. It's a bizarre thing. But my main point to investors is have a look at the project, see if you like what's on offer, and use that as your judgment rather than the number that it says right now. Right, so to get back into the project then, I think we've gone through quite a lot. There's quite a lot to it as well, to be fair. But as an overview, and please, Jay, Randy, or Brian, just tell me if I am wrong here. So out the gates, there's going to be 5,555 NFTs, which you can mint right now. You just go to the site, you can grab one. There you go. Happy days. You've got one of these, which if you've seen any of the images there, the artwork is absolutely fantastic. So you can grab one of those now. The fair launch is obviously live of the Stink token. So if you grab one of these NFTs, you can stake it, and that will be live soon after launch. You can get more Stink for your staking. I love that, by the way. Stake your Stink. You get more Stink from staking your NFTs. That will be staking of Stink later as well. And how those pools work is there are separate tokens allocated, but also it's where the kind of other part of the utility comes in, which is a beer line of Drunk Skunk itself, basically, which again, through the distribution, the selling of the beer, it will add into that staking pool, aka it will buy back the token, hopefully push up that chart, and means you get more tokens for your staking as well. Was that an overview of most things?
Yeah, and I think that was good. Yeah, for sure. That's the three biggest pieces: the NFTs, the native token, and then the beer. So yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great concept. It's nice when you've got external revenue models. It's, you know, it's one thing that we try to do ourselves, but, you know, not to kind of pat ourselves on the back, but I think it's how you keep a long-term project. And if you are looking at long-term investment, guys, this is the sort of thing you want to look at. Obviously, this is not financial advice, and you should look into it yourself. But external revenue models are the way that if the token does shit, you know, which sometimes they do, the outside revenue model can just make it do great again anyway. You know, that was terrible English, but it can make it perform even if the token didn't do well off the bat. So there's all these different methods to help this stink token thrive, and hopefully the NFTs, you know, what they can do in weird ways as well. The only question I've got left before I open it up, because I can see people are holding their hands up already, is are there plans to extend this into other chains or not? Because obviously when you think of NFTs, one of the main places you think about is either Ethereum, obviously, or Polygon. So is it going to stick to BSC, or is it going to extend to other chains?
I think at this point, we just want to keep it as a BSC project, just for obviously for convenience, for low fees, for just it being our home in the space and comfort level with all of the partners that we have. You know, so that's kind of where we were at. But initially, yeah, we definitely had considered ETH, and we considered, you know, listing on OpenSea. But, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages, I think, to both. Ultimately, we went with what we felt like was true for our token and our project. So to answer your question, we'll probably stick with BSC.
Yeah, that's great. It's a great answer. And obviously, I gave an overview, but you know, it's great to hear it from you as well. So you've given one already, but if there's anything you've missed, you know, go for it right now.
Yeah, I think you did a great job summarizing the project. But yeah, I mean, we've got 5,555 NFTs that are going to be stakeable, tradable, rarity. You'll be able to mint a rare one, all of those things that we had discussed about the NFTs, the social club membership, the profit sharing from the beer line. So that's the NFT portion that's been really cool for us to get out to you guys. We love the art. We love the legendaries. Can't wait to give some of those away for our prizes. And then the second part is the Stink token, which is live right now. The pre-sale is live with Pink Sale, SafeWho audit and KYC badges with a 50 BNB soft cap. And then the third part to it is the beer line, that this Drunk Skunks Pale Ale, and the Drunk Skunks Lager, and the Drunk Skunks Toxic Beer that Randy had talked about, that we want to give back the profit sharing back into the staking protocol that we have, and managing the staking in a responsible and way that will deliver high value to our holders, including a lot of these social components. And our first upcoming one's the mutation party. So a lot of these things that we have were just designed to just provide that interactive experience and social experience for our holders, and high value for everyone that's investing and working with us on the project.
Absolutely fantastic. Right, let's open it to some questions then, because I'm sure there'll be lots of things that people want to say. Pain and Sacrifice, you've had your hand up for quite a while. Hello, my man.
Hello.
Hey, mate.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. Before I ask my question, can I ask more than a question?
More than one question? Yeah, you can ask a couple.
Okay. So my first question is, I noticed that on their roadmap there will be a strong party for NFT holders. So I would like to know, is there criteria to participate on the party? Like, do I need to hold certain amount of tokens before I can join the party?
Now, if you have one NFT, you're in the party, brother. You're in the club. You get into all the social get-togethers, all the social meetups, all the drinking contests. Patch you in virtually if you're international, and we had talked about flying people in to join the parties. If we get to that stage, we'd love to do that. Love to welcome you guys into the States, and pay for you to come in and all that. So, yeah, if you get one NFT, you're in the club.
Okay. What of on the retail side? I noticed that you will be having strong retail in real life for breweries. So, like, as a NFT holder of Stonk, like, is there any certain, like, maybe when your product comes to my city as NFT holder, is there any certain that I can propose I can drop something that I want to be part of your retailer in my city as an NFT holder of your project?
let me make sure I understand your question. We have an event, like say we have an event coming up in the U.S., social event that we're holding in a particular city. What were you asking me about with that one? I think I caught the most of it, but
Like say I'm in US now. Like I noticed that on your roadmap there's NFT, there's viewings that will be going live for retailers. Like, and I know that on that occasion you need for some employers for the retail product. So like I'm NFT holder to your project. Can I make inquiry and be part of your retailers in the project? Or do you have certain people you are employing for the
okay, like could you work for the project as an employee? Is that what you're saying?
as an NFT holder of your project?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we needed to hire, we would definitely look to our holder base first. Like I think that that's something that we've talked about with our expansion plans, and we definitely would consider that.
My last question, please don't be annoyed. My last question is based on your toxic NFT. I noticed that you have a 0.15 BNB price for it. Would that be the permanent price, or you just put that price based on market condition now?
Yeah, it's tough when you have a fluctuating asset, whether it's going to be stink or whether it's BNB. There's volatility and fluctuations with any of those. So we set the price based on the current state of the market and what value we thought we would be able to deliver for holders. But we also set it, that will it allow us to do the things that we're seeking to do. And if we do the raise the way that we think we're going to, then it will allow us to fulfill all of those things that we're talking about doing. And so we kind of tried to hit that, hit that sweet spot there, between delivering a big value, dealing with what we know is fluctuating up and down with BNB, and then also, considering that, we want to have pay with stink. We also initially will need to have an offering for stablecoin payment as well as BNB payment. And of course, in retail sales, when you go into the grocery store or beer distributor or convenience store, then you've got to be able to pay with US dollars. So we've talked about the conversion of profits and considered the conversion of profits into the chart and how that will flow. So yeah, I think that we basically set the price based on current market state and value, and also responsibly from the financial side about how to balance the project and deliver all the things that we want to deliver.
Okay, okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. Good questions.
Yeah, thanks for the questions, buddy. Right, I'm going to take a couple from chat first, if that's all right. So is there going to be any other use case for the NFT for the future, like having a skunk world where people can join and chat with other NFT holders? So I suppose this is expanding from the drinking club itself.
Yeah, and we love those ideas like that too. And like we just drive so much off of what the community wants. I think that just even hearing that sounds so cool. But similarly, we will have the private group for the NFT holders, which will be like a little bit of that move towards the exclusivity. So everybody that's holding an NFT and everybody that's in the club, we talked about Discord, we talked about Telegram, and we talked about what's the best way to do that and to develop that. So we're really looking at providing that exclusivity. So Skunk World, yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to have the private group, and we're definitely going to have a sense of membership and exclusivity that we're going to develop along the way.
Yeah, nice question as well, actually. There's another question from Showhawk. From what I'm aware, it can be difficult to get shelf space in retail. In terms of consumer distribution, are you also considering online purchases direct from the website?
Absolutely, and that's one of the big driving factors that we've been talking about use case for Stink. So it's just navigating through a lot of those legalities from state to state that can differ here. You could have completely different set of licensure regulations, et cetera, for dealing with purchases in Florida, for example, which is one of the states that I know that Randy's got a background in, and some of the other states with reciprocity of licensure and different things that I know he's been working through and updating me on. But I do leave that, up to him because it's definitely beyond me, and he's got all the connections for it as well. So yeah, I mean, I think that online sales of it is going to drive the project forward as well. initially released for commercial sale to get the profit and revenue flowing, and then going to pay with stink for all that stuff that we want to be able to use the utility for stink for.
Cool, nice. That's what I like to hear. Let's open it up. Lucky has got a question. Hey, Lucky.
Hey, thank you very much for the opportunity. Okay, so my question is regarding the proposed profit sharing for the proposed profit sharing and staking for the NFT holders. Okay, so since one NFT is going to have an advantage over another in terms of rarities, an NFT holder with a lower rarity be able to earn less, and then the one with a higher rarity be able to earn higher, or it's just going to be proportional? And regarding the current market, are you considering that the bear market and the current sentiment is going to be is going to affect the success of your project?
Yeah, those are good questions. The first one, the rarity will, so everybody's going to get the profit sharing. If you're staking it, a regular NFT, it doesn't matter, so it's not devaluing anyone's NFT. It's just thinking of it as a bonus for the rarity, right? So you just receive a bonus for having a higher ranking, so to speak, a rare skunk NFT. So look at it as a bonus, but nothing to devalue the regular NFTs, because they're still going to be able to be staked in our DApp, and then you can earn stink and then stake your stink on top of it, and you'll get all the multipliers involved in that. It's just with the rarity, we wanted to offer, a sense of fun, right? Like it's fun to say, okay, like I'm minting one now. I'm trying to get not only a lottery ticket, but I'm also trying to get, a rare one because it's cool, and I'll have a bonus. So there's got to be some incentive for rarity built into it. And we will offer that and increased APY. And there's some different utilities too that we have in mind that we've been teasing a little bit. We haven't officially dropped all of them in terms of the benefits of like a legendary, the benefits of a mutant skunk, the benefits of the rare skunks. We've only begun to kind of talk about the utilities that we have worked out behind the scenes. So that hopefully that answers the first part of your question. And the second part, based on the market status, we're all dealing with that right now. We're all dealing with the bear market. But if you're here and you're an investor, I think that you're looking for the things that we have in place, right? So, to overcome the bear market, how do you get through it? I think that a lot of projects get through it with utility and then multiple sources of revenue streams that don't necessarily rely only on crypto. So if the beer drinking business has been steady over the past, like if you're looking at the analytics for beer sales, they've been steady or even increased, right, during rougher financial times. If you look at the past history of sales, so I mean, it makes sense, right? People are drinking it off. So even though there's less money, it's one of those things that I think is to the advantage of a project that includes alcohol sales like we have in retail sales. So I think to overcome the bear market, we've got heavy utility on the NFTs, and we've got not strict reliance on cryptocurrency to have the project be successful. The crossover into real life with the beer line is going to help with the bear market. But we're in the bear market. We don't know how long it'll last, and we'll get through it because we've got these plans in place that I think are diverse for getting through it.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for that.
Great question, mate. Great question. I've had one from John, actually, our very own John. What do the beers compare to with a beer that's already on the market? It's spoken like a man that truly likes his beer.
Yeah, and Randy had mentioned the flavor profiles are kind of like open in terms of accessible, right? So we didn't want to narrow it too much into one. For example, like I don't know, like a double chocolate stout. Like I might like to drink that, but as far as first line, I don't know that we would want to put out a big bold double IPA or something like that. So Randy's come up with 2 flavor profiles that are accessible and open. I don't know if you guys are familiar with American beers or not, but he tried to give, I think, a couple references for each, like the pale ale, similar in a flavor profile to Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, which is one of the, basically one of the most popular American pale ales. And then also the Yingling Lager, which is a really drinkable accessible beer. So those were the two that he gave. Where are you guys at, Ant? What part of the world are you in?
We're in the UK over here.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have access to those beers or not, but I know that we've had a lot of international members saying, "Hey, I've tried Sierra Nevada, and it's like for example, like in Australia, we had an AMA with Shano earlier, and a couple Australian guys were DMing me saying, "Hey, Four Pines is really similar to Sierra Nevada," and I mentioned that to Shano. He's like, "Oh, yeah, it's a Sydney brewery," and I've never had Four Pines, but it's kind of cool to see like out of the international community what comparisons are made and everything like that. It's a cool part to the project.
Absolutely, and beers, IPAs and whatever. Although I'm a pretty boring drinker. I'm not going to lie. I'll probably have the guest ale or something, and then forget about what I actually drank. But they are, I don't want to say in abundance because it belittles what you're saying you've got. But it is a cool thing, right? Microbreweries, independent beer lines. It is the thing now, is what I would say. Even in Britain, clearly in the States as well, and obviously in Australia, if that's what Sean is saying too. So there is a big market for it. Definitely, it's not just limited to the Budweiser's, Foster's, or what do we use? We just drink what everyone else has got, basically. So yeah, I completely agree. So hopefully that answers your question, John. I mean, you can tell me if it does or not, I suppose, on chat.
I like it. Thank you.
There he is. Stefan, you've got a question. We're probably going to limit this to the last one, so just because of timing. But Stefan, what have you got to say?
Hey, and am I audible?
You are, mate.
So Jay, regarding my question, you see, it's I saw your project and it's quite good. But you see, your project solely based on your NFTs being sold, right? All you have for the project is your NFTs. So I don't want that you have a bad thing or anything else. I want your NFTs to be sold, but there's this one thing: your NFTs are not being sold as you wish, right? So what would push your project for us investors, right? You actually need to have something else. What would you do then?
Yeah, I think that's what we had been discussing, really. The three different components don't necessarily rely on each other, but they also will fuel each other. So I think that if the NFT sales were to be stagnant, like you were referencing, then maybe the success of Stink as far as the launch and the pre-sale will fuel the NFT sales, right? Or vice versa. If we can get the NFT sales going and marketing those on Discord and through a few other avenues and things like that, then that should hopefully boost the Stink, right, token, right? And then also the beer line that we have, in promoting that, we will see success and increased sales in the NFTs, increased floor price, etc. And they kind of will each hopefully work in that synergy together to fuel each other, but also provide independent opportunities for success with their own right.
Yeah, great answer to the question there. And like, you have mentioned it a few times. There's a few different avenues, not just the NFTs or tokens here. So, be sure to go in and ask some questions in Drunk Skunks as well. I'm not going to say Drunk Skunks Drinking Club because I struggle. So DSTC. But do go ask any more questions if you've got them, guys. I know a few of you have asked questions and I haven't got round to them, so I do apologize. But I'm pretty sure your guys' Telegram is going to be open to answer these questions if I'm right, Jay.
Yeah, we would love to have you guys come over and talk with us. And I've been answering questions a lot in the chat. And we've got our mods. We've got Legacy Capital in there. We've got a ton of people answering questions and willing to help anybody with anything that they have, if it's technical with minting or if it's just conceptual about the project or whatever you guys want to ask. We'd love to have you guys join the club.
You've been absolutely fantastic, genuinely fantastic. I love the project and I wish you the best. I hope it goes really, really well. Definitely be keeping an eye on you. This is usually the part where John jumps in and says, we'd love to have you for a launch AMA as well. John?
We would love to have you back for a launch AMA, guys. Absolutely. We'd love to follow you and see how you go on and update us with everything you've got coming in the future. Absolutely, for sure. I'm all game for that.
Yeah, thanks, John. You're a great host. We'd love to come back. That'd be awesome.
He always says it, so I thought I'd jump the gun on him. Anyway, yeah, but genuinely, guys, I love it. You spoke very, very well. I think the project's great. I think the artwork is absolutely fantastic. So like I said, everybody, the fair launch is live. You should be able to find them pretty easily through either the links that we've got in Telegram or, via PresaleWorld, via Pink Sale. Just type in Stink. The token name itself is Stink if you want to look at the fair launch. So that is one thing I would say, type in Stink, not Drunk Skunks. And then, like I say, if you do your research and you like it, put some money in, because at a fair launch, it all goes in the last hour generally. Not that I think that's a good idea, but don't be dissuaded by the numbers that it says at the minute, although it has crept even while we've been on the talk here. So one last question, just because I'm cheeky, and I thought I'd ask the last because, the host is allowed to do that, I suppose. What sort of figures are you looking for from the fair launch? Is there any number that you have in mind in terms of what you hope to raise? It's a loaded question because I imagine the answer is as much as possible, but, is there a number that you have in mind that gives you a good runway, allows you to set up this beer line and keep things moving forward for a period of time?
Yeah, I think we hope to kind of convey some of our values too with how we structured it, just keeping it open for 24 hours with a relatively low soft cap, just not trying to be greedy. And if it happens to be bigger, we have plans for, the scalability of things like the first batch of the beer, and with, staking APY and giving that back. This is like really a passion project for the 4 core members. Of course, would be cool to have it blow up, but we also have plans scalability wise to deliver that back to holders should we have a really, really huge raise. So we're going to keep pushing it. It'd be cool to get our soft cap met in the next, if we can push that forward. We've got a lot of marketing coming out, so if we can push that forward, meet soft cap in another few hours here this afternoon, which would be afternoon for us in the States, and then just kind of keep pushing it out. If we get a couple hundred BNB, would be awesome. Would allow us to expedite a lot of the things that we're planning on doing with the beer line and get things going faster. But it's not necessarily dependent. Like, we don't need to get 1,000 BNB or this is going to be a dead project. We wouldn't want to start things up like that. So hopefully that answers your question. We're modest and hopeful that we can get our soft cap met and then exceed it a bit here.
As with all the questions,
Jump in there.
Go on,
if I could just jump in there as well. Again, like hitting that soft cap's a major thing, and also if it isn't met, trust me, and I'm sure Brian will tell you exactly the same. Just a little bit of an adjustment can make a massive difference, and I'm talking hundreds of BNBs difference. But I'm just saying, as a grand scheme of things, but I think this project's a comfortable couple of hundred BNB here. I just hope everyone sees the potential in it and try and draw everyone to this website. I would also say, because your artwork and your website is fantastic. It's one of the best we've seen so far, guys.
Absolutely, John. I totally agree with you there. That's something we're looking into as well. Another thing I want to say, sorry guys. Another thing I want to say to your community too, guys, is don't sleep on these NFTs. Look at how Bored Apes was. They weren't selling out for a few months. People picked them up for dirt cheap, and now look what they're doing. This project has the same capability of doing the exact same thing with a better use case. You get to drink beer, merch, and I'm sure there's going to be much more down the line. So don't sleep on this project, guys. Make sure you get in, stake your stink, get your NFTs, stake those as well. And within months, within years, you'll be laughing. I just want to say thanks, John. Thanks, Ant, for the AMA here. You guys have been unreal. I'll definitely suggest this channel more and more as I work with projects.
Yeah, it's really great to say. And what I was going to say as well is, if that answered your question, is what you were saying, Jay. Yeah, you've answered every question very well, very eloquently. So I wish you guys all the best. I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on, and obviously I'm sure John will be keeping chatting away as well. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. It's been Drunk Skunks. Please do go visit their socials, ask any questions that you have. We'll have a recording as well that we'll share with you guys. So if anyone wants to re-listen or just joined in at the end, you'll be able to go through it all. But we'll see you soon, guys. We're going to hang on for 5 minutes or so just to talk about PresaleWorld. I appreciate you guys are in the middle of the fair launch, so I don't expect you to stick around. So get back to it, crack on with your marketing, and let's see that soft cap being raised.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate you hosting us, Ant and John. It's been awesome. And, we'd like to come back and give away some NFTs to some of your members just that have been asking such great questions in the chat and in the VC. So if it's cool with you guys, we'll stop back in later and drop some new content that we have coming out later today and maybe just invite some new members to the club with Skunks NFT.